Welcome to Building Bridges, Conversations on Social Development, where we explore the power of connection, collaboration, and community in shaping a more inclusive and prosperous world. Join us as we delve into the key issues, innovative solutions, and inspiring stories that drive positive change and empower individuals and communities to thrive. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, uniting hearts and minds for a brighter future for all. Let's get to work with Garfield Oliver of Caribbean American News Media.
Over the past 5 years, every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years from now. Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our St. Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working.
You are viewing Caribbean American News Media on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find us on 360 Radio. Your host for tonight is Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
Is for those of you St. Lucians in your late teens. Just close your eyes and imagine yourself in the year 2064. That is 40 years from now. If you are 18, in 40 years' time, you will be 58 years old. If you are now 30, you will be 70 by the year 2064. Just imagine that. You will be called an older person. Your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren will be curious about life in St. Lucia back in 2024. What will you tell them? That you were more interested in enjoying yourself, hopping from one fete to the next, or dancing on an elevation called the Bam Bam Wall? Will you be able to tell them that you were interested in the development of St. Lucia? Will you tell them that as a young person, 40 years ago in 2024, you publicly expressed your views on what was taking place in St. Lucia, that you took a stand, that you and your friends were vocal about what you considered an injustice? Will you tell them that you took the time to call a talk show called Newspin, where a guy called Timothy Polion used to host? Those of you young people residing in the south of the island, what will you tell your children and grandchildren when they ask you, Granddad or Grandma, why is the port of Beaufort in the sorry state it is in? What excuse will you give them? Will you tell those curious grands and great-grands that you stood idly by and did and said nothing when the government of St. Lucia in 2024 relinquished its responsibility and gave a company control over our patrimony? That you did nothing? That you said nothing? That you were too afraid to say anything? That you had no backbone? Or that you just did not care? Keep those eyes shut. This message now is for the members of the Labour Party government of St. Lucia and those of you who've encouraged and facilitated this transaction. In 40 years' time, most of you will not be around. And if you are, you will be nearly 100 years old. Will you, if you have the mental capacity, be able to look back and regret the decision that you took in 2024? As you hop around with your walking stick or lying on a bed, will you, with a toothless smile, say to your great or great-grandchildren, my government did the right thing. We relinquished our responsibility and did away with our patrimony? They might ask you, didn't the National Trust or the National Youth Council or the Media Workers Association or the Bar Association or the Chamber of Commerce or the concerned citizens of Beaufort say anything? Your answer to them might be, my child, these organizations did not care. They did not seem interested in anything when my government was in power. We gave them a medicine called Mumu tablets that kept them quiet. Said Lucia, particularly you young people, it's time to open your eyes. Open your eyes. It's time to show interest in what is happening on your island in this 2024. Because 40 years from now, you can boldly relate to anyone that you had a backbone, that you and your friends showed your displeasure when the government back in 2024 practically gave away our seaports to a company called Global Ports Holding, GPH. Now, it's time to wake up from that terrible 40-year nightmare.
Special good night to all our viewers here on Caribbean American News Media Platform. Folks, how was your day? It is good to be here with you here on the platform. Greetings to all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Let me see. Oh, boy. I had a long day, I can tell you that, and I'm sure you too had a very long day. But greetings to all our valid viewers on the platform. It is a pleasure to have you here with us yet another night. Now, I haven't seen the program, Lady Lee, who normally comes on Tuesday that I give up the spot for. I will try to reach out to her, but we're here tonight on business, very serious matters pertaining to the country. And so we want you to share the live, tag a friend, let them know that we're on. And tonight we're going to be taking calls, all calls tonight. After my intro, we're going to be taking calls. I will be entertaining calls, not long calls, but calls that sweet to the point. We want to know how you feel. Tonight is protest night. We want to get a feel of the nation. Yes, Caribbean American News platform. We want to get a feel of the nation. Let me tell you something, folks. It is very easy to call this platform. 929-586-1821 gets you on the air on WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Everybody has WhatsApp. Tout monde WhatsApp. And sometimes you feel alone because you do all the talking and then people are just behind the scenes and they're hiding. They're not even making a phone call. Not even a phone call. And that's why all these stuff are happening to us, whether it's the minimum wage, whether it's a GPH, whether it's the CIP situation, everything just go unnoticed because, you know, they rely on us to talk for a while and then everybody else goes silent. And so I encourage you, friends, tonight I want to hear from you, the St. Lucian people, those of you on the ground. Those of us in the United States, in the diaspora, we can talk a whole set of talk. But it is you on the ground who has to live in it, who got to feel it. Yeah? You are the ones. We need to hear from you. You got to report to us. This program, it is the news that you report. The news that you report. I'm tired of talking and you guys are just there in the country, business as usual, and, you know, nothing. You say, give a little mapui on social media, and then, you know, you're gone, your business, you drink your little wine and bacchanal, and everything is just passing by, and a government sees that, feels good about a society that is not engaged, a society that, you know, says nothing and allow everything to go. They bamboozle your cervelle even more, as they see you act like you don't care, you just talk, blah, 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 whatever it is. And so they just continue to malmene your cervelle, according to my friend Norbert Williams. And so we're going to be pulling this ship together tonight. I need to hear from you, the people. Même si vous criez que vous parlez créole, mamele. Call. You can call with your Creole, your Dutch, your Spanish, whatever it is. We just want to hear you. I like to hear broken English too. So même si vous pas fort English là, vous sa crier and tell us the little thing. If you have to say money and all them kind of things, it's okay. I will have a little fun with it, but don't take me serious. Now we see all the money and our country and with all white people, I would laugh, you know. So you can call, and I encourage the hacks, you know, to call too. I would like to hear from some of the SLP supporters, what they think, whether they think that we are trying to destroy the country or whether they think that we're just spreading propaganda. I would like to hear from them, of course. We are here for truth, and we'll go wheresoever the truth is. So, you know, feel free, SLP and independents, to call the show. Don't be ashamed, afraid. You're welcome. Trust me, call. I would love to hear from some of you on these matters that are developing in the country. So tonight is call night. Everybody need to call. Now, most of you would be aware of our big interview on the 10th with the MSR Media International from the United States. They're a multi-million-dollar company, and so we will be having a show, an interview at 10. We know at 8 on the 10th of June. We know that MSR Media sued the St. Kitts and Nevis program, CIP, and also individuals in St. Lucia who is part of the CIP program. And so he's going to be here with us. And I believe he has some major news, breaking developments on the 10th to be released to us on the platform. So you got to share the live. You got to let folks know that it is going to happen. We have the man himself, MSR Media CEO. He's going to be on with us on the 10th. I was in a meeting today, and we'll continue to have those meetings until we can satisfy the platform that all is well, and we are ready to go forward with that interview. But folks, I want to thank Maneva Ward last night for being here on the platform. I can tell you it was a good program. The response from cross sections of the world and St. Lucia. And when I see professional journalists who have been in the business for years, well known, can reach out to me and congratulate us on the program last night, then I would say that we are on the right track. And let me just add, folks, I'm not here to make the government look bad or fill up GPA of the country, because it would not be the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. And I can guarantee you, friends, that the information that we have received on the platform, it is way beyond propaganda. It is in the federal court in Miami, right here in the United States. And it is not a game. It is not a sport. And I would tell you, those of you who are forming the fool because of your party that's in power, and you walk around making a lot of noise and saying a lot of stuff that you don't know anything about, what I can tell you is that you don't know what is about to come down on you. And I would advise all to pay attention. Right now, a lot of information is coming out with the CIP, information that we never knew as a country. We were getting piece of information, no information, some information, dates there, dates over there, and a whole set of conflicting dates. Right now, it is showing up on the radar, and I am telling you, it's very interesting times. Watch this space. And I want to say something before I go on to the press, media houses in the country. Don't get yourself involved in being stifled by any governmental organization, whether it's the United Workers' Party or the SLP. Never allow yourselves to be used, to be silenced because of funds, because of being hired, because of being told to write positive information about our government or whatever it is. Don't you dare mess with the democracy of the nation. And that's a warning to you, the journalists. No wonder sometimes you ask no questions, or the questions that you ask means nothing to the citizens of the country or the issue at hand. So you got to step up on your game. And don't think you can hide. Don't think that there is any, secret at this time anywhere in the country. That's all I can say to you. So if you are tempted to accept any money donations, contributions from any government official, I would say to you, stop. Don't do it. Stick with your little $500, your little bicycle, your little one-room house, and tell the truth. You stand on the right side. You are part of the democracy of the nation. And every civilization, every civilized country needs the free press. Every civilization in the country needs the free press. So I challenge you. Don't allow yourselves to be caught up in any web. You will be smoked out and you will be exposed. That's all I'm saying to you. And some of you know what I'm talking about. So for me, I would ask you to, if by adventure you have crossed that line, get back over to the other side, because what is about to come down, you do not want to get caught up in it. Yes. Don't say I did not warn you. All right, so folks, please share the live and tag your friends. So the United Workers' Party came out with a press conference today, and the PRO of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Spider Montoot, spoke on the issue of the CIP alleged corruption, or the scandal that is out there with the CIP program. And he spoke on an article also from the newspaper in Grenada. And so the Grenada spoke of statements made by CIP representative from St. Lucia concerning the reason why the agreement, the MOA, was not signed at the time. And the excuse was that they were waiting on clearance from the United States Treasury concerning applications from the Russians that they had to be processed. And we saw in a release from the St. Lucia Labour Party, and I will try to read as much as I can. Press release, and this is from the St. Lucia Labour Party. And this press release, it is from the 28th of May, 2024. SLP demands UWP PRO retract careless statements on sale of passports to Russians and Iranians. Bear with me, folks. Caribbean American News Media Platform. You're on the air, caller.
Yes.
Caribbean American News Media Platform. You're on the air, caller.
Yes, Brother Garfield.
Yes, sir. How are you? Yes, you're the first caller.
Yeah. Brother Garfield, let me tell you that, with all due respect, brother man, while I'm happy that you're reading press release from the St. Lucia Labour Party, I therefore want to take the opportunity to educate the people of St. Lucia. Why is a press release coming from the St. Lucia Labour Party and not the government of St. Lucia? But man, it's not the Labour Party that did anything, you know. It's the government of St. Lucia that did what they did, but it's not the it's not. But man, you see that's where we getting caught up in we getting caught up in a whole unnecessary thing. Why is the St. Lucia Labour Party is the one putting out a press release for the government of St. Lucia, brother man?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm trying to say, Gaffney?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brother man, it is insulting to us. Them fellas insulting our intelligence when they do something like that. So why would the opposition party give any answer to what the SLP is saying? But man, SLP is not in government. Philip J.P. need to man up. Philip J.P. need to man up and know that he's the head and take responsibility and come out there and face the music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is not a Labour Party. It's not Labour Party. It's the St. Lucia government the man is taken to task.
Mm-hmm.
It's the St. Lucia government that is involved in those kind of scandal, brother man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Mm-hmm.
And brother man, I'm telling you, I feel it violated. I feel insulted by Philip J.P. tonight. I'm telling you, by the government of St. Lucia, I feel insulted.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like these people just feel like we so dumb, like we don't understand what the difference between a party and a government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is, brother man, I'm telling you, brother man, when I saw the press release from the St. Lucia Labour Party with the St. Lucia Labour Party logo, I asked myself, in what world are we living in?
Yep.
Brother man, how can the people of a society be subject to insults like that? How can we be subject to insults like that? And yet we do nothing, brother man. We do nothing.
Yep.
It's not fair, man.
Yeah.
It's not fair to us. So, brother Garfield, I'm telling you, man, you're doing them fellas, you're doing your audience a disservice in even reading that excerpt. That is just pure, that is toilet paper to wipe our backside. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to be involved. That's what the fellas want us to engage in. That's not what we want to engage in. We want to engage in our government coming out and defend what is going on there. Not the party. Mm-hmm. Man, come on, man, Garfield. Man, that's my contribution. But look here. Tonight I have to call again because there's a lot of issues I need to talk about, brother man.
Okay.
Yes, have a blessed night, brother
look
man.
Look forward to your calls. Yeah,
and good night to your viewers.
All right, no problem. Okay, that was Gregory Charles. So let's go back to the statement from the St. Lucia Labour Party in response to the United Workers' Party press conference earlier today. And this is Cast 3 St. Lucia Labour Party is aware of comments made by Public Relations Officer of the opposition, UWP Leonard Mantut, that Citizenship by Investment Program, CIP, continues to receive applications from Russian citizens. The SLP is aware that the government of St. Lucia is in keeping with the agreed 6 principle with the United States government has suspended the processing of applications from Russians since February 15th, 2023. The UWP is fully aware of the statement made by the Citizenship by Investment Unit publicizing this suspension, yet they continue to push lies and disinformation in the public domain. This propaganda being spread by the UWP is yet another attempt to tarnish the image of St. Lucia. So let me just talk to whoever wrote this article, this press release. You Labour Party, whoever wrote this. High gas prices. You never wrote a letter. Families losing their loved ones. You wrote no letter. Healthcare is a mess. You wrote no letter. The insults of your surrogates. the insult of your surrogates. No letter. Minimum wage, $6. No letter. Water crisis, no letter. But now, you come forward. You come forward inserting yourself into matters yes, that are very serious. Very serious. You come with your cleanup letter, damage control letter, causing more damage. Because one, the letter is disrespectful to the leaders of the United Workers' Party. It's disrespectful to the opposition leader, Mrs. Chastney. It's disrespectful to the many St. Lucians who are supporters of the United Workers' Party. It is disrespectful and unacceptable for you to call our leaders in the United Workers' Party out of their names and to accuse them of wanting to destroy the image or tarnish the image of St. Lucia. May I remind you, whoever wrote this piece of thing, that you stood by while your people during the last campaign violated the laws of St. Lucia during COVID. You stood by and encouraged a lot of lawlessness in the country. You stood by and did not release a statement to ask your supporters to stop their racism. You stood by. And you did not release a paper when the reputation of the nation was being tarnished. When white people was being insulted and called all sorts of names, and that you don't want them in your country, that they are leeches. When investors were being insulted, you stood by St. Lucia Labour Party and you said nothing, not a letter, not a word. You said nothing at all. When the image of the nation was being tarnished by your supporters, when women were being threatened, you did not issue a statement. When day after day on social media, individuals who are now in your SLP government insulted and threatened and a whole sort of nastiness, you said nothing. And I'm declaring to you tonight, we do not want to hear nothing from you. This has nothing to do with you. You prepare for an elections. Mind your business. We have a right to ask the questions here. The United Workers' Party as opposition has every right to challenge this government on their stewardship. And you have a right to just shut your mouth and stay out of this, of the United Workers' Party's business. You have done enough damage yourself to the reputation of the nation. You have done enough. And may I remind you of the many issues that up to today we have not gotten clarity on. Our seabeds, GPH, no letter. We ain't seen no letter explaining anything about GPH. The Department of Infrastructure, Licensing Department, suspends a very important part of the licensing process, causing damage to many St. Lucians who can't really read or would not be able to write, but can drive. You took away that component of the test. And you did not write a letter. It was the driving school who put pressure, and the government had to reinstate what they took out. We didn't get a letter on behalf of the people. The cost of living, no letter. So I would say to you, you just take it easy, take a deep breath, and watch this process. Because I can tell you, based on my knowledge, it is not a nice one. And I have not called names. I've not accused anyone. But all I can tell you, whoever wrote this letter, at the bottom says bread, justice, and freedom. I will say to you, free up the press. Allow justice to prevail. And allow the people to eat bread, because they're not. There is no justice as far as I'm concerned. Vendors are being hauled over the place and insulted on national television, and no letter, no justice. No justice for families who are seeking justice. Their loved ones are rotting at Bodily. And suddenly you are trying to take away the freedom of expression of the citizens of the country by insulting them, by victimizing them, by bullying them and threatening to kill them. Bread, justice, and freedom. Please, get out of here and allow justice, bread, and freedom to prevail in the land. And it will take a free press and all St. Lucians to come together and demand bread, justice, and freedom. So until then, I say to you, get out of here. Please and thanks. Now, let me get back to you, my people. Let me get back to you. Now, I want to go over to the government of this country. The government. You see all what is happening here? You, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, let me address you. And I'm going to ask individuals who are tempted to insult and to believe that they alone have the right to speak. Let me say to you quickly and in a hurry. We, the citizens of this country, have every right to speak. What we do not have the right to do is to insult, to spread propaganda, and to tarnish the reputation of anyone. I would not do it. And if I find out that what I am saying, it is misinformation, I would correct it immediately. I wouldn't allow it a minute to stay out there. If any one of you can call me and tell me the MSR media is lying and, there's absolutely, everything is good. There's not a problem. Everything is fine. If you can come on this platform, make that call, I will apologize. But I know what I know. And you don't know what I know. And what I know, I am saying to you, you better start watching this space, because all hell is about to break loose. But we have the right. We have the right. We came across a letter, communication from MSR Media, indicating that there is a problem, inviting the government of St. Lucia to come and look at the evidence that we have. Just come and look at it. The government of St. Lucia allow it to end up in court, because the Prime Minister went into the capital, into the house, and insulted, called the guy basically a scammer, insulted him. In a government insulting an individual as if it's some ghetto thing and it's just, a little Bobby shop. This is the government of St. Lucia, folks. The man said, look, okay, that's what you all doing. Okay, then you guys will answer. Insult me in the courts. Insult me in federal court. Go there and do the insult. Because I nicely and respect and professionally invited you guys to examine some very serious information that I have in my possession about your program. And you insulted him. Calling you on the air, Caribbean American News Media platform.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How are you?
Not bad at all. I'm the hair caller. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Brother Garfield, with reference to the CIP and all the corruption and all the saga that's going on, I am going to suggest, I believe that the US, the UK, Canada, and the EU should revoke the diplomatic passports of Philip J. Pierre and all and his entire cabinet and those persons at CIP and Invest in Lucia and this company who are involved in that CIP scandal. And my reason for saying this is not just out of spite, but it's because we, the St. Lucian people, did not agree to what this government was doing and is doing. And the people who are going to be paying for this will be us, we the civilians. In essence, if anything will come out of this CIP corruption,
alleged,
it will be the civilians who will have to apply for visas, do this, do that, do the other. We were not the ones who told Philip J. Pierre, Ernest Hilaire, and the rest of their cabal to go ahead and do what they did. We had CIP functioning very well prior to 2021. So now I think that their visas, that their diplomatic passports, etc., that should be revoked. Make an example of these guys so that the other countries and any other governments around the world who has a CBI or CIP program going on will learn their lesson.
Well, the truth is, caller, it is a little too early for that. Based on my knowledge, in the next month or so, then we will see some movement. But for now, it is allegations, and we are following the crumbs. There is recordings. There you have hard copy evidence, and there are other evidence that are there, and it cannot be disputed as far as I'm concerned. But for now, there are allegations, and it is right now in a federal court about to be escalated. And so...
Good. And when I say good, I mean that is why I'm suggesting this so early as well. So that the people who are involved, they will be the ones held responsible for the decisions that they made. And that the general population of St. Lucia will not be the ones to feel the pinch for the decisions that they made. It is just like selling our ports, 2 seaports, Castries and Soufrière, for 30 to 40 years, for what? For around $47 million, about approximately. When from one of these spots alone, we could be collecting $700 million in 15 years. We have not even looking at Port Soufrière. Port Soufrière, we haven't even checked how much money was being collected by the Soufrière Foundation on that end. Do you understand? This government has gone on and made decisions to do some very bad things that are going to affect. The decisions have been decisions that are going to affect us, our children, our grandchildren, and down the road. This is going to affect us severely in St. Lucia. When we give up $700 million from Port Castries only, where are we getting that money to make up for monies to pay to run St. Lucia? Because that money was being collected and that money was being used to take care of certain things that St. Lucia had to take care of. Where is that money coming from? Is it coming from the taxpayers? Are we going to be seeing higher taxes or another set of taxes being imposed to make up that money? Aren't we suffering enough in St. Lucia already, Brother Garfield? St. Lucians, aren't we suffering enough under the high cost of fuel, the high cost of groceries, the high cost of everything? Everything is 3 times the original price under the Philip J. Pierre administration. We have the highest cost of living in the Caribbean, as far as I know. We're paying the most and we're receiving the least. And Philip J. Pierre is beating his chest. Ha 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 ha. I collected $17 million in excess. Where's that money? Where's the money that we've collected from all of those passports that are being sold? Where is it? Nothing is happening in our island. Nothing is happening in St. Lucia to better the lives and the livelihoods of St. Lucians. But you're squeezing blood out of stone. We need to do something to protect St. Lucia and St. Lucians. Because if we don't, it is just going to get worse and worse and worse. One more thing, Brother Garfield, and I know I'm using your platform tonight to make a few statements. There are so many passports, so many St. Lucians, with thousands of St. Lucians are waiting for their passports. This passport thing is back again. However, I'm learning that passports are being done for this program, that CIP program, in less than a week. 4 days to a week, these people have their passports.
So you can confirm that we do have a passport issue again?
We have a passport issue again. And it'll come out, Brother Garfield. I'm putting it out there. Just let me put it out there. Okay? Why are St. Lucians waiting for so long before they can get their passports, but foreigners can get their passports so quickly? What is going on? Who in the passport office is assisting and taking care of other people, but St. Lucians who are citizens of St. Lucia, it's taking forever to get their passport. There's another scandal coming out again, but it's going to come pretty soon. And as I mentioned, it might come out even sooner.
Okay, so
we have so many problems going on in St. Lucia, Brother Garfield. And we have a prime minister who everything you ask, he's having a laugh. I am once again calling on Philip J. Pierre to resign, but I am not calling on him alone. I'm calling on him and his entire cabinet to leave our government alone.
Okay.
Leave St. Lucia alone. Leave St. Lucia, get out of our House of Parliament, because they are not doing anything that is in favor of the St. Lucian people. Everything we're seeing is that there are individuals in this government that is growing overnight. Growing overnight in terms of new homes, in terms of new cars, in terms of land acquisition, in terms of just collecting wealth.
Okay.
Collecting wealth, but we're not seeing the monies, where the money is going in St. Lucia, Brother
Yes, my
Garfield.
friend, yes,
I don't want to stay long.
Yes, we have
there are
another
other
call,
people
yes.
calling.
Yes.
So,
Thank you so much for
St.
your
Lucians,
input.
let us wake up. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Good night. Caller, you're on the air, Caribbean American News Media platform. All right. So the phone lines are going. Caribbean American News Media platform. You're on the air, caller.
Garfield, good night.
Good night, my
Good night,
honorable
sir.
friend. Yes, mother.
Good night, my fabulous family.
Yes, night to you.
Good night, St. Lucia. Garfield, I'm not going to talk about the merits and demerits of CIP and what's going on right now, because this has been the airwaves, all Facebook, GVD TV, all the Sky FM and everything. These debates, your show, I have heard Minerva come out powerful. It's put in there. There has been a lot of talk. I am beginning to think that maybe 85% of solutions do not speak English. They only understand Creole. And maybe that is why they are not shaken by what that information that has been coming out there. For months upon months, there have been complaints about GPH. There have been, not complaints, information coming out from your platform, Sky FM, Facebook, Minerva, the United Workers' Party, all their forums have been coming out with, whether it's Rev Up, whether it's Roundtable, whether it's TP and his show, it's been coming out about the hospital, GPH, about now all about CBI. St. Lucians are hearing. You cannot tell me they're not hearing. So it's either I am hearing people saying they should be said in Creole, because St. Lucians are not affected. They don't seem to be affected. And this is real. We need to get real now. If our people were affected by those things, that the information that the United Workers' Party and you and everybody else have been putting out for months, they would have been getting up. If they were being squeezed, if they were suffering, if when they go in the supermarket they cannot shop, if their purses are tight, if they are hungry, their belly hurting them, they see things happening to their children, they're upset about what's going on in the schools and the school feeding programs. If the farmers are suffering and they can't bring water, is a problem. There are so many things that this government is doing that has never happened under Alan Chastney. And I came to this country towards the latter part of Alan Chastney's reign. And I saw the massive things that the SLP were doing, that they were always in the media, they were always up, they were always demonstrating, they always had all their people coming out. Obviously, St. Lucians were suffering under our administration, that the Labour Party could get them riled up. So, but for months, your guys have been putting out information, and St. Lucians are mute. St. Lucians are not coming out. St. Lucians are not demanding a demonstration. They're not even calling out to say, well, okay, well, UWP, you're putting out all the information. Leaders, they're not even asking that. Garfield, I am starting to believe that that something is wrong, seriously wrong, because we can talk and talk and talk and talk and put all the information out there. If the people who are supposed to be suffering, who are supposed to be affected, are not coming out, because by now, if any of those things that are happening now under this government was happening on the SLP, St. Lucia would probably be in a state like post 1979. We would have had drama in the city if you see SLP was the one that was in opposition, and those kinds of things were being done by the United Workers' Party administration. This place would have been in shambles from the SLP, because they would not tolerate it from the United Workers' Party.
Right.
Why? Why? Why are our people quiet? Why, if our people are suffering, they're not talking? Why are they not moving? Why all this information they've been bombarded with for months and months of all these egregious things that are being done by this government? Our people were supposed to be the affected ones and all. You think the SLP is going to say we are not performing? You think they're going to say that they're not a good government? You think they're not going to say that the United Workers' Party just talking, don't worry them? Because they have every right to say that. They have every right to act like that. They have every right to think that they're good government. They have every right to think they're the best, and we have the best prime minister and the best government because our people are quiet. Our people were you all on all our programs crying and suffering and crying out for them and saying they're suffering, and they were supposed to be affected. They mute. I am upset, Garfield, because if I saw just about 300 or 400 or 500 of them would want to come out there, Garfield, I would be right in front of them to take whether it's stones, eggs, gas, whatever it is. March through Parliament, in front of Parliament, do whatever to demand this government is out. Because this is how I feel. And I'm sure I'm not suffering like them. I'm sure I can pick up myself and just go to another country. I'm sure my life is better. I lie down on a bed, even if I feel in my purse tighter than it ever was before. That's why I cannot give them money when they come with their forms asking for medical help and all of that. I cannot do it because I have to watch my money. If they were really suffering under all of these things, they would be coming out. But where are they? What is happening? Don't they speak English? Do we all have to now start speaking in Creole because 85% of our population is only Creole, you understand? That is nonsense. The real fact is what is happening to St. Lucians was supposed to be suffering from all of that, Garfield. I just wanted to say this. I am upset. Because y'all are pushing, it hurts me to see the way y'all are pushing yourselves out, giving information. I watching the press conferences, I watching Rev, I watching Roundtable, I watching this, I watching Minerva, I watching you, I watching Gregory, I watching all those that come in on and talk. And our people are mute. So therefore, you expect the government to think they will beat their chest, they'll stand in arrogance, their friends and everything will stand up big because their people are quiet. That means the people put them there and the people like what's going on. And it's we that's causing nonsense. I'm talking nonsense. This is what I'm seeing. This is the only explanation I'm getting. Garfield, I am just upset, okay? I'm just upset. I have been in this thing for so long. I have been in this politics big business. I'm a person that's behind to push, to mobilize, rise up, push our people and stand up with them. But not even that getting to them. So I am just tired. I'm just fed up. I just feel like just saying, man, what solutions get? Let them get. Let it match up because the majority of this population are young people from between the ages of 25 to 45. That's the majority of our population. How come they're quiet when these things that are happening? It's them not going to suffer. People like me on my way out into the grave. And we fighting and they're quiet? Come on now, Garfield. Come on. Tell me what's wrong with St. Lucia. Good night, my love.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. That was Auntie Joycelyn Fletcher there. You can hear the frustration in her voice. The people are not engaged as they should. Now, let's listen to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Philip Japere, and on his press briefing today. He had a press briefing today, and let us just listen for a minute.
President of Taiwan, President and Vice President. The ceremony was attended by other heads of state, including the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonzalez of St. Vincent. And it was a very auspicious ceremony. The Taiwanese people were well involved. In fact, it was a ceremony that was being viewed very closely by the entire world, because you know the situation as regards Taiwan and the friends on the other side. But it went well. I also had meetings with the head of of National Security Agency in Taiwan, meetings of where we could have some cooperation in national security between Taiwan and St. Lucia. And also we met the chief of the Coast Guard, because the problems of drug smuggling and arms smuggling are not unique to St. Lucia. Taiwan has the same issues. So we dealt with that. We had a good discussion. The Taiwanese promised for this.
And folks, the Prime Minister looked like he is lacking energy and he's just tired. But let's listen to him. And we're going to get to the MSR media lawsuit that was filed not against government of St. Lucia, but against some players there in the CIP program, and both in St. Kitts and in St. Lucia. Let's go back to this.
About the food generation.
Press briefing.
The food generation issues as it relates to the citizenship will continue, and GPH was not reinventing the wheel. GPH was in Bahamas, GPH was in Antigua, and GPH should bring its marketing expertise at no debt to the people of St. Lucia. We also informed them that there had been several attempts to have a deal with the ports as far as concerned. When I was Minister of Tourism, I went to a visit with Royal Caribbean, I think, into looking for a joint venture to extend the port to St. Lucia, and that was not successful. So it was a very good visit. The English diaspora was very pleased with the information that we gave them, and generally it was very fruitful.
Let me just address my viewers for a minute. Folks, when you tell me I am spoiling your night, it kind of kills my spirit, because we're trying to build up something here, a discussion, and we got to listen to information. We got to be aware of what is being said out there in order for us to have a discussion. I am not willing to sit here and talk to myself or only sing to the choir. So we got to, folks, bear with me, because it takes a lot to do what I'm doing, a lot of effort. And once you tell me I am spoiling your night, I feel very bad about it, that I am the one responsible for giving you a bad night. I feel very bad about it. So I know you might be joking, but it kind of threw me off a lot. Once I see the comment, it bothers me. I know you might not mean anything, but let's listen. We got to listen to information, and that's how we make decisions. That's how you cannot make decision based on one side of an argument. You cannot jump to conclusion based on what I am saying. You got to listen to other sources. And that's why, for me, I went to Jamaica, Grenada, United States, different parts of the world, looking for information so that I can present to you, so that you can make a conscious and informed decision. So, but what I don't want you to do is to just say, he's a volé, Miss Epabon, Garfield not good, or Jonathan not good, or Miss Joyce not good, she bad. And it is just because of a one-sided, because somebody say she's not good or he's not good, then we all join saying he's not good, she's not good. It's very important that we do two things in our lives: that we read, that we assess information, we listen, even when it's unbearable. Even if it's unbearable, we sit and we listen, we dissect, and then we leave, with a broader understanding of what is being said out there. And so what we're doing is that I want you to see for yourself, hear for yourself, what the Prime Minister of St. Lucia is saying. I don't want to tell you what he say. We have the technology where you can hear what he says. All right, my people? So thank you for being here. I know, I'm not taking it personal. I just don't. When anybody tell me I spoil their night or their day, it bothers me because I want you to have a pleasant day, a pleasant night. I want you to feel good at the end. I want to cheer up somebody's spirit and not to throw cold water on their spirit. So do understand that where I'm coming from. But I love all of you, and I hope that we can come to a conclusion tonight based on the presentation. All right? Appreciate you all. You all are good people. Let's go back to the Prime Minister, folks.
And I am back here. I'll be going to the SIDS conference tomorrow in Antigua. I leave this evening for Antigua, and I return tomorrow to take part in the SIDS conference, Small and Developing States Conference, where the Honorable Cholet, it bothers me that all what we can develop, all what we can debate on, can end in one night, literally one night. Something that I lose sleep over. So that's what made the topics for SIDS. And as you know, St. Lucia took part in, I don't know whether you got that news. St. Lucia was one of the first countries to partner with Antigua in a claim for climate change. And in St. Lucia, the case was won by Antigua, and St. Lucia partnered with them. I signed on very early when I became Prime Minister, and we won that case. So hopefully there should be some things happening as far as loss and damage is concerned, as far as this is concerned.
What are your thoughts on the CEO of the CIP being named in that RICO case in St. Kitts, I believe it is here?
First of all, I think there's been a lot of misconception about this whole issue. And it's very sad when we carry these misconceptions around, right? There's been a civil action that has been filed, a civil action. The civil action is between non-governmental actors. It's a businessman who is aggrieved with the actions of another businessman.
Okay, so bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I don't know what the Prime Minister just said there, but he said that the lawsuit is not between the government, it's between a businessman and a businessman. So it seems to me that the CPI or the CIP has nothing to do with government. It is a private business, and the government has absolutely nothing to do with the CIP program. Did you get that? It's between private individuals. So, based on what the Prime Minister is saying to us, it is like a lawsuit between Macy's in America and SNS in Castries. It has nothing to do with us. Mr. Prime Minister, if I was the Prime Minister of a country that was named that one of their income, their program, their citizenship by investment program was challenged in court, or there is the appearance of evil in such a program, I would have some concerns. I would not come on the air and say to the St. Lucian people, it's not us, it has nothing to do with us. I would be afraid in even working with you as a government because you will throw me under the bus. As far as we're concerned, yes, a businessman was named in the lawsuit, and also the main guy in the CIP program. CIP is a unit of government. It is a unit of the government of St. Lucia. It's your patrimony. It's your income. It also has to do with your national security and the national security of other nations. While the lawsuit is not a lawsuit from the United States government, while it is not, but the charges are very serious. The accusations are very serious ones that we should never downplay, Mr. Prime Minister. We should never downplay it. It is not a game. This is not a sport. And thank God the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Prime Minister Jew, said he issued a very serious statement. And the man said, I'm going to review my passports to ensure that no monkey business went on, that everything is okay. I am not going to sit by and tell you this is fake and this is opposition fault and this is a bandit from overseas, a scam artist or whatever it is. No. Jew took that serious. And right now he's digging into that program, looking for any signs of corruption. That's the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, when we compare the response of the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and what you, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, is saying to us, something is wrong. Something is wrong, Mr. Prime Minister. Something is wrong, St. Lucia Labour Party. Something is wrong, supporters of the party. Please understand what I'm saying. Something is wrong with the response. And instead of the Labour Party, they put out a statement. Instead of the Labour Party saying, well, these are serious allegations and we hope that the government look into it so that we can ease the minds of our citizens and those who are doing business with us, both internally and internationally. You make a professional statement like that, but when you start dropping all kind of pieces of nastiness out there impugning people's character, then it says that you are not the right government to lead this country. It's very clear. Caribbean American News Media. Caller, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Good evening, my friend. How are you? Welcome to the platform.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
yes, my dear.
I am calling on St. Lucians and telling them, keep up the faith. Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
We are almost there.
Yes.
And always when the victory is about to unfold, we have that little sense of wanting to give up. That is just the devil playing in our head.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
We are there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I saw something in Philip Pierre in that press briefing.
Yeah.
That I have never seen.
Yes.
In his 30 years of being in governance.
Thank God.
He is blocked. He is locked.
Mm-hmm.
He is confused.
Yep.
He is afraid. And everything is just there, ready to blow up. What I am seeing, I don't know if every single St. Lucian who have watched this clip have noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost. He's afraid. There's a lot of fear in him.
Yeah, yep.
So, St. Lucians, like I keep on telling you, do not give up on my God.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to reveal and work wonders in our land.
Mm-hmm.
I know we need to go on the street because I myself, I would love to go on the street. I would love to go. I want to go. But there's some action, some situations where we have to be patient.
True that.
Patient.
Yep.
and to cast all our cares on our God.
Yep. Yep.
To see us through, especially when you are dealing with the devil himself. You see that tongue of Philip Pierre that have been lying to a nation, a leader, blatantly lying to a nation. It can never stand. It will never stand as long as we have people in St. Lucia that have the faith that God will show us the wrong of this political party they call the St. Lucia Labour Party. It's evil, and we are going to see God work in mysterious ways in that country.
True.
Philip Pierre is on the verge of a breakdown, and it's coming. It is coming. And sometimes we have to just keep quiet and just watch. And I am seeing him at that press conference tonight there. That's not the Philip Pierre we know. That is, I don't know if you've seen it, but I am seeing it.
Well, that's why I'm playing it.
Excuse me?
That's why I'm playing it over and over. I want people to observe what is happening. Yeah.
But a lot of us, if we don't have the Spirit of God in us, we will not see it.
That's right. That's right.
That's why God will use his people to bring out that to the nation. This man is on the verge of breaking down. He has enough already. He cannot take it. And his political machinery he has behind him, they are trying to keep up, but they will not stand.
True.
They will not stand because they are standing on a fountain of lies, and God hates that. They are ruling with the help of Satan, and God knows that, and they will be exposed. And we will take the street when God tells us to move. We will move. Just don't interrupt the movement. Something is happening. And I want to say to the SLP, whoever wrote that press release that Minerva Ward tackled earlier on today.
Okay.
And to the people of St. Lucia, I want to tell the people of St. Lucia, where in the history of St. Lucia they have ever seen the United Workers' Party work to destroy the credibility of our country? Where? In what era? In what era, St. Lucians, have you all noticed UWP, the founding political party of our country, led by Sir John Compton, where have you all seen that political party work to destroy the image of St. Lucia and its people on an international level? Where? They never did it internationally, they never did it locally. So that press release is just a set of people trying again to prevent the public from thinking, because the UWP have been pressuring them. Though they don't have protests, they don't have to go and destroy the little bit of economy we have holding by a thread to keep us alive. They will not go and destroy that. But with the press conferences, the little talk shows they have in the programs, and they're really coming down with the truth, it has already shaken up the grounds of this country. And from 2021, the chaos that SLP did and they created to join that government, the plan they came up with, together with Stevenson King and Richard Frederick and Kenny Anthony, St. Lucians have realized that. They have realized is not where it's supposed to be today. We are going to get there, St. Lucians. We will get there. The lie cannot never overcome the truth. Have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yes, my friends. That was our friend Alison there. Let's go back over to finish watching the clip. But the truth is, Mr. Pear looked overwhelmed, and let's just listen to what he's saying.
So I'm back here. I will go. And in solution, the case was won with the actions of another businessman. That happens every day, every second, every minute.
Okay, so let's remind the Prime Minister that every minute and every day, people are not being taken to federal court for CIP. I'm going to say that again slowly. Every day, Mr. Prime Minister, people are not going to court or federal court from the Caribbean for CIP. It doesn't happen every day. If you say to me every day people go to court with each other for disputes and everything else, I can understand that. But we are speaking about CIP. Do you understand the seriousness of CIP? CIP can impact the security of other nations outside of your country or your island. Do you understand the magnitude of what we are facing right now with our CIP, Mr. Pear? We continue.
In this case, the CEO of CIP, it's in LUCIA, was mentioned.
Okay, so let's take it slowly. So just now, earlier, the Prime Minister said that every day people go to court, nothing to see. Earlier he said it has nothing to do with the government of St. Lucia. Now he is saying the CEO of CIP, St. Lucia. You understand what I'm saying, St. Lucians? Every day people take individuals to court in business. It's just a disgruntled guy going after individuals that he has issues with. And now a while ago, the Prime Minister said the CEO of CIP, St. Lucia. Let's continue.
Cruise revenue for the particular island sits all over the world suffer from the same problems.
Bear with me.
As far as concerned, when of drug smuggling and arms, hear about the food generation that we give them, and can develop all what we can, because it is said, it is alleged by one man. There's been a civil action that has been filed, a civil action. The civil action is between non-governmental actors. It's a businessman who is aggrieved with the actions of another businessman. That happens every day, every second, every minute.
No.
In this case, the CEO of CIP, it's in LUCIA, was mentioned in the deposition because it is said, it is alleged by one man that he, for some reason, caused him to feel the pain of a business decision in St. Kitts. Let's look at the logic. We have no business with the gentleman. We have absolutely no business with him. Nothing. He has an issue in St. Kitts. Now, he must also note, this is not the government, It's not the United States government. It's not the Treasury Department. It's not the FBI. Although they said take me in a plane some time ago. A plane with an FBI was expertise at no depth. This is, as I've said to many people before, that's what keeps me awake most nights. I signed on very early. Must wait. And no one has been filed. Nothing has been filed. No one has received anything. A plane with an FBI, and I was supposed to be in it for a few.
So, folks, you see why the Prime Minister gets excited and he laughs. A plane, the FBI. It's funny, and it is an individual. Nothing. Just a guy disgruntled. He lose out on a business in St. Kitts, and he's just coming after people. He's just coming after Galaxy, and he's coming after our CEO. So our CEO end up from St. Kitts into St. Lucia and Galaxy, and he's coming after them because and you know what they said? They said that the FBI came to get me. The FBI came to get me, and it's funny. It's funny. Let's continue with the joke.
Few days, right? It is not the State Department. It's one man. It's an individual who is saying these things about other individuals. There is no indictment. The U.S. Treasury hasn't got involved. It's one man. You can do the same thing. So it's just a matter of we must wait.
So the press can do the same thing, The press can go to federal court. The press can't even talk in St. Lucia. But he said to them, they can do the same thing. They can, they can take the CEO of Investment CIP. We can take the CEO to federal court in Florida. We can do the same thing, one individual, because the government of the United States is not involved in it. So it has nothing to do with us. St. Lucians, listen to me. Listen to me. If the Prime Minister of St. Lucia had gone to Washington to review the evidence, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia would not be in that press conference doing what he's doing there right now. I can guarantee you that. I'm going to say that again for emphasis. If the Prime Minister of St. Lucia did not call the guy a shady guy, cuss him out, and he had gone over to Washington at the invitation of the gentleman, maybe the gentleman would have sent him a plane and ensure that he gets there safely. If only St. Lucians, Prime Minister pay had gone up to review the information that this gentleman has, I can almost guarantee you that he would not be speaking the way he's speaking here today. The Prime Minister is speaking from a point of ignorance. When I say ignorance, I'm not saying he's stupid. I am saying he's speaking from a position of not knowing. You understand what I'm saying? Folks, you get what I'm saying, right? He is speaking from a position of not knowing what the guy have in his possession. invitation was given to him. He declined it. He said he never received any invitation. And now he is speaking from a point of ignorance, a position of ignorance. And we should not have our politicians or our government leaders speaking from positions of ignorance, lack of information. Ever so often we have the Prime Minister, I never heard that, I don't know. Major developments in the country, I don't know, I never heard that, I don't know, I don't know, I never see that, I don't know where that come from. Who said that? I don't know. Always in a place of not knowing. And I suspect it is deliberate ignorance. Yes, I saw it in action with that letter, that invitation. He did not go because he preferred to be in ignorance. This Prime Minister went to HTS. I believe it was Stanley Lucian that sometimes appear as political hacky hacks. And the Prime Minister said, well, there's an account in Panama. There's an account in Panama, and I don't know. I just saw it. But I leave it out there for speculation, for the people to speculate. But an account is yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Prime Minister did not check as the Minister of Finance. He is Minister of Finance, and he's saying to us that he came across a document. There was the Alan Chesney administration has a secret account in Panama. Prime Ministers of St. Lucia allow his cabinet members to print T-shirts of Volley going to Panama and Panama account, and they kept mentioning Panama account in the House. And the Prime Minister sits there knowing the truth and allow them to speak from a position of ignorance themselves. When all he had to do as Prime Minister and Minister of Finance to go and check it out, make some calls, talk to some people. Permanent Secretary, what is this? Director, what is this? I came across this document. Explain it to me. I don't know. So it says to me that the Prime Minister likes to be in a position of not knowing, so that he can come to you, St. Lucians, when the poop hit the fan, then he says to you, I don't know, why is me? Is Alan Chastney? Ask him, is not me. Let's go on. Let's listen to the Prime Minister.
And no one has been filed. Nothing has been filed. No one has received anything. No documentation has reached into Claude's hands or into Denzil's hands. It hasn't reached anywhere. This is just paper that you're reading.
So it is just paper that you're reading. Nothing, nothing. It's just a paper. Nothing. Why is me? Nothing.
I heard this short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short fella.
The first time I hear about boom kaka was from my friend Lauren. I don't know if there's going to be a boom kaka, but the sky is falling, and very soon everybody will see the truth. So the Prime Minister said to St. Lucians, it's just a piece of paper, ain't nothing. Do you know everything is just a piece of paper until the boom kaka uve and you start taking do lode, and then you realize that it was a boom kaka that you had carrying all the time. You thought it was peanut butter. May say a boom kaka killer. But you walk around and you say to the people, it's just a boom. It's just a bucket. It's just a regular bucket. But the people are saying to you, no, Mr. Prime Minister, it's a boom caca. I don't know many of you who lived in Dennery early in the morning before the ladies go to Belfashion to work. They had their boom caca walking with through the village early morning to throw down at the La Bouchie in Dennery. Because at that time, you couldn't dig pits. So they would have buckets in the thing. And you have to take the boom caca and walk through the village and dump it down the road. But they got to wake up early. So a whole set of sisters walking down in their little Belfashion striped blue and white uniform to drop their boom caca. So Prime Minister is saying to you, St. Lucians, it's just a bomb. And the other people who know what they're talking about, they're saying, no, Mr. Prime Minister, it is what you call a boom caca. Be careful with it. Right now, the Prime Minister is swinging the boom caca because it's just a regular bomb. So he's swinging the bomb, swinging the bomb. Swing cow, swing swinging the bomb. And one day, Mr. Prime Minister, not soon from now, the boom caca will spill. And I want to know what song you shall sing. You will have to find Dettol and Jays to remove the scent of the caca when the boom caca falls. I am saying to you, Mr. Prime Minister, it is more than just a piece of paper. It is much bigger than a piece of paper. And again, if you had gone to Washington or you had engaged the gentleman, and any smart government would have engaged the mister and would have tried to figure out what the mister have in his possession. Any national security advisor would have advised the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, let us try to figure out what is in the bucket. But no, somebody advised the Prime Minister badly, as usual. I think the Prime Minister has very bad advisors. Very cunyo advisors, because why did you not say to Prime Minister, let's find out what the man have. Let's find out what he has. Not just a piece of paper, Mr. Prime Minister, but let's go on. Speak.
Talking one man in a civil case. It's like you decide that somebody did you something and you've taken them to court. This has nothing to do with government. This has nothing to do with the U.S. State Department. Nothing to do with the Treasury. Nothing. It's one man, one aggrieved non-governmental actor taking action against other individuals. That's it.
St. Lucians, the Prime Minister just assured us that the sky is not falling.
I heard this short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short fella. The sky is falling.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, cheers to you, sir. If you like to walk around with boom caca, that's your problem. That's your problem, sir. That's your boom caca, because as far as I'm getting from you is everything is okay. It is just two individuals who are having some problems, some issues, and has absolutely nothing to do with any government programs or anything else. Just two fellas. It has nothing to do with the government of St. Lucia. Nothing at all. Nothing. It has nothing to do with alleged account in Georgia or anything. It has nothing to do with the press and voicemails and nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. No government dealings. Nothing to see here. So cheers to you, Mr. Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Nothing going on. My advice to you is hold the bomb. Hold the bomb. Give it a few weeks. Give it a few weeks, Mr. Prime Minister. And I look forward to hearing from you when you would have opened the bomb. In other words, when you would have opened the bucket and then you discover what's in it. Okay? But I will give you the opportunity to continue. Cheers.
That's it. No case has been filed. These are allegations by one man. And when we go ahead and we castigate people's characters, Claude Emmanuel has been found guilty of nothing. One man is saying is that he has issues in St. Kitts, and he's brought Claude Emmanuel in St. Lucia involved in it. Issues in St. Kitts. That's all that's happening. Why are we...
St. Lucians, I am warning you, you are listening to a prime minister who is deliberately keeping himself in a very dark place when it comes to information. The prime minister indicates to you, and I'm documenting this for history, for the future, when the Bumkaka opens, remember this show tonight on the 5th, the 28th of the 5th, 2024 at 9:42 p.m. Prime Minister said again that it is nothing I go on. Absolutely. It's something that happened in St. Kitts. It is a problem the fella have in St. Kitts. And the fella pulling the CEO in St. Lucia. We didn't do nothing to anybody. We don't even know the man. We never did business with him. He's just mad with two people, and that's the story. And the Prime Minister is telling you, St. Lucians, that's my story, and I stick into it. In other words, this is my story. This is my song, according to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Unu hear what I'm telling Unu? Go ahead, Mr. PM. Sing your song.
Castigating a young man. How are we doing that? There's been no indictment. The State Department has said nothing about it. The Treasury Department has said nothing about it.
No.
The U.S. Marshals, there's no call for the arrest of anybody. It's one individual, one aggrieved, non-governmental actor making accusations, one person. So why are we getting so excited?
So does that mean that the U.S. is not involved in this issue?
I can't see, I'm telling you, what I have in front of me is one man making accusations against 10 individuals.
St. Lucians, again, the Prime Minister is saying this is what he has in front of him. So one, he's saying that nobody has been given any documents. Nothing is going on, just a piece of paper. My question would be, where did you get the piece of paper, Mr. Prime Minister? Did you print it from Facebook? Did somebody send it to you from Conway, from Bacatel, from Dubwell, from Bouton, from PI, from Marsha, Asu Square, Abba Square? Who sent you the piece of paper that you have in your hand? Is it MSR Media? Who sends you that piece of document that you're referring to? Could you submit it to the Honorable Court so that we can see? Cite the documents you're reading, sir. What are you reading from? Is it a blank piece of paper? That's why you're saying it's just a piece of paper? Could it be a blank piece of paper? We can understand if you have an empty bucket, a blank piece of paper. Now we can understand. So, Mr. Prime Minister, what paper you're referring to? What paper are you referring to? Did somebody in the Labour Party, somebody in your cabinet just print something from online and say, look what they're talking about? Don't worry, that's foolishness. Mr. Prime Minister, remember what they did, the Speaker of the House? They told him, Shastin just talking fat. Shastin don't know what he's saying. Shastin, they nothing in the house. Don't worry, And then when you guys went to court, remember you guys lost the case? And you guys had to pay Mr. Shastin thousands of dollars because somebody who believes that they know everything among you told you nothing to see here. It is just Shastin beating his white mouth. He's not one of us. Don't worry with him. Is it the same thing we see playing out? Again, bad advisors. It appears to me advisors who are bitterly angry, bitterly angry with an individual, and they're telling you, don't worry, that's Shastin friend. Shastin best friend, nothing going on. Is that the advice you're getting, sir? So my question is again, what paper are you referencing to the press? Did you give them a copy? Did they ask for a copy? Because I know the press sometimes fall asleep in press conferences. For me, I would have asked you, where you get that from? What kind of paper? Can we have a copy? Although you'll bluff us and say, yeah, I'll make one available, and you never make it available. So what paper are you referring to, sir? I would want to know.
Individuals, including a former prime minister, now accusations against the government sent kids, is one man. And I want you to check his history. I'm not going to get involved in that.
So what you have before you, Mr. Prime Minister, you say that the U.S. Treasury is not involved, the U.S. State Department not involved. Do you, by what you have before you, do you anticipate, are you concerned at all that what is before you and what may be before the court is enough to have the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. State Department to get involved?
I can't opine. You remember there was a Pajero letter that was all over the place?
There we go
and then
again.
People said that this and that happened. This happened all the time. These things happen all the time.
And usher him out. And usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
No.
Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher.
Why me? Why me, Lord? What have I done to deserve this? What have I done to deserve this? Why? Why is me? So the Prime Minister, I can't opine. Now the question is asked, are you not concerned? Lisa is a very good journalist. I met Lisa years ago. She used to work at, I believe, Sea Island Cotton at the Gablewoods Mall when I used to be at the bank up there. And Lisa is a very nice person. And I like that. Lisa, ask Mr. Prime Minister, are you not concerned based on whatever paper, in other words, whatever paper you say you have there, are you not concerned that it is enough to trigger off other investigations from other agencies of government? Because you're dealing with a federal court. Are you not concerned that there might be federal charges that can come out of this bomb caca? Good question. Are you not afraid, sir? Are you not afraid? He's going to put on one of his best or famous act. Let's go back.
People are aggrieved. Private citizens are aggrieved and they go to the courts. St. Lucia has had its history. There's the Pajura letter. There was all kinds of things. There's things that happened. So why are we getting so excited?
So Prime Minister, if all the excitement is causing people in St. Lucia talking and saying that we problems with CIP and things, do you think the image of St. Lucia is being ruined and being done by this man and the action?
Honestly, I would prefer if the people of St. Lucia had taken a united stance. I would prefer if the people of St. Lucia, if the opposition had not got involved in the panderings of one man,
Okay. So we are pandering to one man. The problem here is the opposition. The problem here, folks, it is the opposition. It is the opposition who, is spreading the propaganda from one man. He keeps saying one man. But he's not saying to you that one man have a case or has a case right now in federal court, and the federal court is not one man. Now, they should understand that they're building a very expensive halls of justice. That's like a big old box in Castries. A big old worthless, dirty box in Castries, blocking all the air out of Castries. So he should know, Mr. Prime Minister, you should know how the court system works. Yeah, you can't walk over to the court to ensure justice on behalf of any one of them when the bomb caca is open. And by the way, the federal court in Miami is not a big old box, expensive box that you're building in Castries. The worst deal ever, the worst box I ever seen in my life. It's ugly. Big old worthless box in the town. Anyway, that's another story. Let's go on.
Allow us to get together to work to strengthen our CIP program. You see, what are we trying to achieve in this country? Hoping that we can bring this government down with everything we can and we can pick up the ashes is not going to happen. Ashes are not picked up like that. When you damage a country, you damage the reputation of a country permanently.
Look who's talking, friends, about permanent damage to a country. This is the man who was willing to burn St. Lucia down to the ground, to ash, just to get Chastney out, This is the guy who told you there's basically them fellas, Jack don't want me to bathe on the beach and Black Life Matters. The same Prime Minister who was on his knees in the boulevard telling the world that there's a white man who is damaging black people in the country. A Prime Minister in opposition who stained the country's reputation. And he was the one who said that St. Lucia is the worst prepared, is the worst during COVID. St. Lucia is the worst in the world. This was the man who was trying to put ash in the streets. He was the one. Is he? Yes, it's him. Oh, what a mighty web that we tangle and weave when ourselves we try to deceive. Am I, is this for real? When government officials were sending documents to all talk show hosts from the government of St. Lucia on the island Chastney, leaking all private information on investors, calling them all kind of leeches and names. You wasn't burning down the country? Finish. We want to go and sleep, Prime Minister.
So when you constantly get involved in damaging a country's reputation. When you don't very, I'll tell you something. Listen to me. Look at the situation in our country today. Supposing what the opposition is wishing for happens.
That's what?
Let's hope.
What they're wishing for?
Hope for that. Let's suppose that happens.
What? What is that?
I'm no longer Prime Minister. I go home. All right? My job is temporary. Mm-hmm. The country remains to be run.
Uh-huh.
The country.
What are they hoping for?
When you
Prime
damage it, when you destroy it,
uh-huh.
when you pray that we lose the visa, that there is a visa revocation.
You're not listening.
When
you were the one
pray
doing it.
that your ministers get arrested and go to jail in the years. When you pray for these things,
somebody got to go to jail for St. Jude's.
Loses the most the people of the country. There are certain things we can disagree. We can disagree on education policy. We can disagree on investment policy.
Uh-huh.
We can disagree on employment.
For y'all to cuss us off online?
Crime. But when you join with international fraudsters.
Oops. Okay.
The content on this platform may not align with the views of a certain party or organization. It's important to note that the views and opinions expressed on a platform are often those of the individual contributors and not necessarily reflective of the organization. In this case, Caribbean American news media may not be held responsible for the content posted by its contributors. It's important for individuals to critically evaluate the information they encounter and consider multiple sources before forming their own opinions. If you have specific concerns about the content on the platform, it may be helpful to address them directly with Cam. The content...
Okay, folks, so imagine I had to play disclosure because of the government of St. Lucia. Can you imagine? I had to play a disclosure because the Prime Minister of St. Lucia called the CEO of MSR a fraudster. Now, the man can take the government of St. Lucia in court right now so that they can prove that he's a fraudster. And he have defrauded the government of St. Lucia. Because the Prime Minister told us earlier that he don't know the man don't do business with him, with the government. But the government of St. Lucia is accusing MSR Media CEO of being a fraudster. I, on this platform, had to put out a disclosure to say what the Prime Minister just said there. It is not ours. It is not our opinion. It is not our views. We do not know it. We don't have any supporting document to prove that he's a fraudster. But the Prime Minister of St. Lucia knows he's a fraudster. Where's the Attorney General to say, Mr. Prime Minister, whatever you do, don't call the man names. You might be angering him, one. Two, you might have him to drag us into court. And we do not want to spend our next year and a half as a government of the country fighting him in court. So, Mr. Prime Minister, it looked to me like you want to be part of the lawsuit. I mean, why would you say that? Why would you impugn the man's character? Why would you besmirch the man's character? That's the government of St. Lucia, you know. Calling a man a fraudster. St. Lucia.
To damage your country because you believe you'll get some gain. This is sad. It's pathetic. This is not a local thing. It's not local people. This is the country's reputation. When you blast all over the world that your government is involving corruption and fraudsters and this and that, and you damage your country because you believe it will serve you with some local benefit. That's not right. This is gone past the local situation. It's not actors here. This is international stuff that you are pushing with no basis. The state.
Well, Prime Minister, again, how do you know it has no basis when you did not go to review the evidence that the CEO of MSR Media indicated to you that he has? How do you know it's baseless if you did not go to see the evidence? How do you know that? It means to me that you are speaking again from a position of not knowing. That's called ignorance, by the way.
Department has never signaled anything to St. Lucia about the CIP program. Never. Never.
So, but Mr. Martinez is saying so that really it was following Caribbean Galaxy, and you did make the point that it is one man who has an issue, a businessman to another businessman. And so Caribbean Galaxy, we know, operates in St. Kitts, it's operating here. What the claim is that the sort of scheme that Caribbean Galaxy is operating is being, or it is known to the government of St. Lucia. So in effect, that the government of St. Lucia is enabling it in the underselling of passports or CIP shares in the marketplace.
The information that I have is that the government of St. Lucia is not involved in any scheme with anybody of underselling passports. That's the information I have. Anything else you have is your information. That's the information I have. We've written, I came here and I read that St. Lucia does not subscribe to oversubscription. I read so. This is what you have on paper. This is what we've said. I don't know what you're telling me is what somebody else said. I'm in no position to confirm what somebody else said. Somebody who is in a dispute with the person.
Has the government of St. Lucia ever conducted its own investigation?
The government of St. Lucia doesn't act on behalf of anybody else but the people of St. Lucia. So when the time comes, the government of St. Lucia will do what it has to.
Folks, you understand the question from Lisa. Has the government done an investigation to rule out any, like the Prime Minister in St. Kitts and Nevis, who said, look, as a result of this lawsuit, I'm going to start searching because Galaxy is operating in my country, and the CEO of St. Lucia CPI, he operated in my country too, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm not taking chances. I am going to dig. I'm going to see what is happening here. The Prime Minister said, I don't even understand what he just said, by the way. He said that he have to only look out for the people of St. Lucia. How do you look out for the people of St. Lucia and not investigate to ensure that you're not making a fool of yourself on social media or on the media? How do you not protect the people of St. Lucia by investigating the accusations locally? To show international partners that the government of St. Lucia, we are working on these accusations. We are doing our internal investigations, and we're hoping that there is nothing going on here. But he said no, they don't have to do anything, basically. They don't have to do anything but protect the citizens. 1 minute. St. Lucians.
But has the government
when the time comes, the government will do what it has. The government does not follow the words of a fraudster.
Here again, he's calling the man a fraudster. He's insulting Mr. Martinez, the MSR Media CEO. He's insulting the man. He just said he's basically they ain't doing no investigations. But he said now when the time comes, so he's waiting until it's too late. The man is waiting until the boom caca is open, just like when he was alerted by the opposition that they should stop selling passport to the Russians. They waited, I suspect, almost a year or a few months before they stopped it. They always wait until the boom caca spill to step in and say, oops. Same thing in the house. Same thing on the roads. Same thing at the airport. Same thing at St. Jude's. Same thing at the dam. Same thing with the gas prices. Same thing with taxes. Always wait until there is it gets into a state of emergency. And that's what he said to you, St. Lucians. We will do when the time comes. We will do what we have to do. The Prime Minister of St. Kitts wasn't waiting for anything. Once he heard it, he started acting. And that's a leader. That's a Prime Minister. The St. Kitts Prime Minister never called the guy a fraudster, you know. You all realize that, right? Never called the man out of his name. Only the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the government of St. Lucia, are the only ones who are calling this man out of his name. It seems to me that it is in the bouillon of this government to call people out of their names. One of their government ministers said Shasna basically is garbage and should be thrown at Dayglow. And you know all the other statements that came out of this government calling people out of their names, besmirching people's character. And this was one of his. He said this one.
I heard this short fella.
Insult.
The sky is falling.
You hear what he does? When the sky is falling, he laughs. And when it do fall, he cries. And he blames the opposition. St. Lucian, let's take one more piece and then we're gone. This is too much for me tonight. This will give me nightmare. Makaisa dormi. Makaisa dormi, monsieur. Mama. I didn't know it was so bad, honestly. I didn't know.
In the marketplace,
the government does not, the government will do.
In Dubai, acknowledge that in the marketplace, there have been, but I don't want to use the word rumors.
Hold. Did the Prime Minister just spit something out his mouth? Did you all see that? Did the Prime Minister look to his left and do... You see, I tell you all, St. Lucians, John Compton warned you all to tell you all to watch you all bread. You all not watching, you all not paying attention. Did you all see that? Kenneth saw it. Look, Reynolds saw it too. Maria saw it. Flip Flabbo saw it. This is breaking news. Lisa put the man under pressure so much that the man had to turn to his left and do piece of chicken bone. Piece of chicken bone. Piece of chicken bone came up. Lisa Upa is there, chicken bone mute. Can you imagine if the boom kaka just uve? What's going to happen? Mama, anyway, let's look at it again. I swear that's what I saw. Listen.
St. Lucia doesn't act on behalf of
They all watch
anybody else
closely.
but the people of St. Lucia. When the time comes, the government of St. Lucia will do what it has to do.
But has the government
When the
looked
time
into
comes, the
reports in
government will do what it has to do. The government does not follow the words of a fraudster.
in the marketplace?
The government does not, the government will do.
In Dubai, acknowledge that in the marketplace.
Sorry, Lucian. Hour. Murphy next show, sir. Show, sir, finished. The show is finished. Hour. Folks, you all saw that? A man who's insulting why is me? What?
Depuis, moi pas ça pour manger bêtise ça. Depuis, moi pas ça pour manger bêtise ça.
The man spit cheese curls. Poutier. Moi sauté, mais c'est mama. But who he spit on? Lucian, hold. Don't lie. Folks, I am calling on any journalist who was in the room. Who was the press secretary on that side or that side? Who was on the left? Any individual, any press house, media houses who were at the session, please let me know who was on the left when the Kwasha came. Who was there? Who was sitting there?
I came here and I read that St. Lucia does not subscribe to oversubscription. I read so. This is what you have on paper. This is what we've said. I don't know what you're telling me is what somebody else said. I'm in no position to confirm what somebody else said. Somebody who is in a dispute with the person.
Has the government of St. Lucia ever conducted its own investigation?
The government of St. Lucia doesn't act on behalf of anybody else but the people of St. Lucia. When the time comes, the government of St. Lucia will do what it has to do.
But has the government
when the time comes, the government will do what it has to do. The government does not follow the words of a fraudster.
In the marketplace,
the government does not. The government will do.
In Dubai, acknowledge that in the marketplace.
Spit now.
There have been, but I don't want you to.
The government do not follow the advice of a fraudster. We follow the advice of a spitter. All right? So let's go back to the Prime Minister, Mr. Spitter. We're finishing now, people.
Has the government ever taken its own investigation into that?
The government of St. Lucia will, within its own time, based on the information that it has, will take all necessary steps to preserve the dignity and to preserve the transparency of our CIP program.
There is the argument that
shares has the Galaxy been awarded?
I'm not aware. I don't know.
There is the argument that something as sacred as our citizenship should not be put up for sale, regardless of who is in power.
That's the point.
My question.
We can argue that.
My
yes.
question then to you is, what are your thoughts on that? Because I mean,
come on, you don't expect me. Okay.
I do expect you.
Let's go back. Who bought Caribbean Galaxy to St. Lucia?
He's going to blame Shasta.
No, let's go back. Let's go back. Yes. Who brought Caribbean Galaxy to St. Lucia and what year? Fine. Okay. Good. First question. Second question. Who changed the CIP regulations in St. Lucia? Third question. Who introduced it to St. Lucia?
So, folks, the Prime Minister is not confident with his role. He took over the press role, and he's asking the core press after he spit in the bucket. He spit in the bomb, rather. Let's speak proper English here. He spat in the bomb, the same bomb that is going to bust soon. He now switched roles from the Prime Minister, and he's asking them 3, 4, and 5 questions one time. We close it now.
Introduce this company that has become who did it? Who did it? Couldn't due diligence have been performed when they were built in St. Lucia?
Did you perform due diligence, your own due diligence on Caribbean Galaxy?
I found it.
So there was no due diligence
I found
done.
it. I found it.
And so you just
I found it. I found it.
So, Prime Minister,
yeah.
Another note. The Cricket World Cup is coming to St. Lucia.
Anyway,
there's big concern.
Let's move on. So, folks, there you have it. I don't know what to tell you again. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I wasn't here for long. I wasn't going to be here for long. I'm going to read some of your comments. But there you have it, folks. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? Whose report will you believe, friends? Huh? I don't know. Why is me? Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, let me see here. Who's referring to as Fertster? The man is so professional, yes. And by the way, Mr. Martinez is going to be on the show on the 10th at 8 p.m. That is MSR Media. He's going to be with us. A matter of fact, many of you did not know, but he was on our platform on last night with while we were together, Maniva Wall and myself. He was on the platform. All right? So, folks, listen to me. This is what it is. And we will continue to follow these developing stories. I'm sure tomorrow there's some breaking news that is going to be out there. The CIP situation is not going away. As I said to you, it's being escalated as we speak. And I would have wished that the Prime Minister would have gone to the meeting so that he would not be speaking the way he's speaking there. I honestly, it would have been the right thing to do. All right? And so, folks, I want to thank you so much for being here with us. What can I say? What can I say, folks? I hope I didn't spoil your night, because I'll feel bad about it. I hope I did not spoil your night. All right? Okay, we have our final call. Hey, Alison, you forgot something? You on the air.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Brother Gato.
Sister.
Philip Pierre is asking the question like he's here as the reporter. Mm-hmm. You could just see that he is blocked. The reporter had him where she wanted him.
That's right.
For the people to see exactly what is going on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now he is the reporter, and the reporter is the Prime Minister. Mm-hmm. But he asked a question. He said, who did the due diligence in the CIP first? I think that's what he said, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
With Galaxy, when Galaxy came in. Yeah.
Right. Did he mention something about the CIP or whatever?
Yes.
They did it?
Basically, he's saying that if there was any investigations that should have been done, basically it should have been done by the Alan Shastney administration when Galaxy came in.
I want to remind St. Lucians that when Mr. Shastney tackled that CIP program, it was on all social media platforms. It was on all the news outlets. They can go back and look for it. That he sat with the Americans and he did that CIP program, and we had one of the best programs in the region or the world. So how Philip Pierre and his organization, his government, can try and blame Mr. Shastney for the Roro St. Lucia is in today because of the greediness of Ernest Hille and the SLP party. I want them to answer that question for me.
Yep.
When they came in there, what did they do? They changed the whole CIP board. You know the CIP board didn't have one government minister on it? Do you remember that, St. Lucian? When Ernest Hille entered there, they dismantled everything. He took over because that's where he wanted. That's what he had been doing from the time he was the British High Commissioner. Was selling our passport. It first started with Walid Jufali. He made the money there. Timothy Polio was one after we got ourselves on the international news on Al Jazeera. Timothy Polio was the other journalist, the first journalist in St. Lucia to break that, to interview the man while he was in England. Up to a day like today, that man cannot clear himself on that CIP with Jofali yet. And today, Philip Pierre want to try and blame Alan Chasney. When the former Prime Minister did that CIP program, it was aired on all St. Lucia media outlets. He sat with the Americans, they helped him with it, and he did what he had to do. And he came to the public and he told them that St. Lucia right now have one of the best CIP programs. So, Philip Pierre, we have our information. We're pushing you under the bus. You're a liar. And the position that you have our country in today, you're going to pay for it. Your lying tongue, God will destroy you. Have a good night, Pastor Garfield.
My lady, have a beautiful night. Why is me? Philip J. You hear what the lady say? It's not me. Anyway, folks, you guys have a beautiful night. Remember to pray before you go to bed. Some of you don't pray at all. You just go close your eyes as if you can open your own eyes. Pray and thank God for protecting you throughout the day, and go to your bed. Drink water. Don't eat no lobster, no pork tonight. Go straight to bed. All right? Because some of you will get nightmares based on what I did to you all tonight. Why is me? I'm just kidding. You always sleep well. God is good. All right? So be good, my friends. And remember, we're here for nation building, not to tear down the nation. But you cannot ignore, the alleged allegations with the CIP program in the region on a whole, not only St. Lucia, in the region. We got to be concerned about it. And we should never encourage corruption or the appearance of corruption. And we saw this government bringing in all their cabals and jabals and their cousins and friends and everybody else. Bring them into government. Yes, let them do this and let them do that. Come on. We got to learn how to shun the appearance of evil, the appearance of corruption, the appearance of deception and deceit. We got to learn as a government how to draw the line. All right? Good. So good night, folks, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and
Mon passe après ma
big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell. I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell. I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell. I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people.
This short fella. The sky is falling.
Over the past 5 years, every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years from now. Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our St. Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working.